Hi traders, is this a valid CoT signal on the Swiss franc reports? That's what we're going to be diving into today, and if it is, where could we try and find an opportunity on the Swiss franc? So I'm on the commitment of trader reports here. We can see that that is the Swiss franc up in here. So if I just highlight that there, we've got the Swiss franc. Really interesting chart at the moment. So this is the Swiss franc futures chart. You want to inverse that to get your dollar Swiss chart. But essentially here right now, there is a potential opportunity for us, I believe, only in the short term though. So you can see just from a chart point of view, so this is a weekly chart up here. We can see that we've come back into these weekly swing highs, which have formed at that 1 spot 2 handle. The last time price had been in here, we've obviously seen quite a decent sell-off within the market. Now, if we look at where the commercials are positioned at the moment, so the commercials, they're the ones in the market to hedge their positions. They're in the market for business purposes only. And we can see that the short contracts have reached a substantial level, a level that we haven't seen really since January of 2021 or December of 2021 as well. And that's this consolidation up in here. Now you can see what followed after a period of a few weeks was that price did start to sell off for the Swiss franc futures. So are we going to see a similar thing here again? Now, I don't believe we will. I feel like we will get a little bit of a pullback, but I don't think we're going to see a pullback that brings us back to 1.1. And the reason being is because of where the non-commercials are positioned in the market. So if I just scroll down a little bit to the bottom of the screen, you'll see the non-commercial positions are here. These are hedge funds and traders and things like that that have to declare the size, well, basically they have to declare their positions because of the size of the positions that they hold. And you can see that they are not buying Swiss franc aggressively. In fact, you can see that from a long side of things, they are not doing that. Now, you may think, well, that makes sense because price is at highs. That is not what we should be seeing. We should be seeing the long contracts well above 20k if we were expecting a significant reversal here. Really good example of that was when we talked about the Canadian dollar reversal recently, where we were looking at getting short US dollar CAD at the 129 handle. And the reason why we were doing that was because of the commitment to trader report. So if I just open the report here, and we just come down, let me just actually zoom out a little bit so you can see this, see the charts as well. Basically, we were looking at getting long because the short contracts from the hedge funds and the traders were at extremes at this low area. And if we look at the commercials, they were long, right? So we were looking at this area of support, and what we were saying was they are getting long. There's a long signal here. They are extremely bullish, the commercials, okay, so those that are hedging positions, and the hedge funds had been shorting at levels we haven't seen since the 80s, right? So that was a significant long signal for us, and obviously price has moved higher. We've dipped back a little bit, but I do think we'll probably see some further upside into the range highs here, or again, inverse the chart, dollar CAD. So at the moment we're trading at 136, could continue higher. So for me, that was the difference there. You've got extremes on both ends. If we come back down to the Swiss franc, we don't have extremes at the both ends, right? You can see that we've still got, although the short contracts are at extreme levels, very similar to what we've been in the past, the non-coms aren't following it. They're not following it. So that makes me think that we're not going to see a big move here. So if we go and take a look at dollar Swiss, what does that mean? What could we potentially achieve with this? Well, I think that if we do see some Swiss franc weakness, we should expect price to break out of this short-term range that the market is in, and that it could potentially trade up to this 0.87 handle on the dollar Swiss chart. And then maybe we need to think about a reversal here at this point, because I just don't see the strong reversal like we did with the dollar CAD CoT reports, right? Now, just to factor that in, if we think the Swiss franc is going to be short, we can go and trade it against currencies that are getting stronger. One of those being the Great British Pound at the moment. Great British Pound is getting stronger. We had really positive retail sales out today. The Bank of England are not hiking interest rates, but they're not cutting either at the moment. They've held interest rates at a higher level. And if we take a look at the daily chart here, we are breaking out of these patterns here. We're breaking out of this period of consolidation that the market has been in, right? This period of consolidation in here. So the market's breaking out of that now. I quite like the idea of coming up into the 1.114 area. If we get an extension of pound strength, we could even come up into the 115s where we have this kind of neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. So pound sus I quite like. I would like to see it maybe pull back first into this consolidation area before moving higher. But I do like Swiss franc weakness just on a very, very short term. Now, if you want to follow the futures market, you just need to type Swiss franc futures, which is ironically called sexy. So if you go over to the Swiss franc futures here and just go up to a weekly chart, you can see that we're in that area of resistance there. Okay, so something to consider going forward. I think, is this a valid CoT signal? I do think it's a valid CoT signal, but only in the very, very short term. I think we're going to see a very short term rebound here before potentially continuing through, because the non-commercials are not aggressively buying Swiss franc at these highs. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.